Fans will be very pleased because Christmas, Arsenal are top of the tree.
And they should be. And thank you again for their support and the way they help to transform this club and the energy of everybody around it. And they should enjoy it. They deserve it.
First half in particular, I thought we slowed them down and covered a lot of space and defended very, very well. Tried to counter, didn't quite get the breaks and decisions that we should have got first half. The decision where Gedge has gone in and been brought down in the box. And that should have been a penalty and a sending off. So that would have changed the game a lot for us in our favour.
You know, I've said many times this club needs to be at the top, fighting for trophies and fighting to be there, you know, at the top. So that's where we want to be. And of course we're happy at the moment, but it's a long way to go, and we're going to stay humble. We're going to keep working hard. We still have a lot to improve, and yeah, we're going to come back even stronger and more hungry than ever after the break.
Well, obviously it's great to be where we are, and we are enjoying that moment. And obviously we have a big break. We have to reflect on what we are doing, and be very much prepared for what is going to come after the World Cup. But our aim is to play better as a team every single day, to have better tools to do what we want to do on that pitch, and I can say it's been phenomenal to work with these players and staff.
And you have momentum now, so is it in a way frustrating? Because who knows how players are going to...
Yeah, when a team is in that moment, you want to carry on playing, obviously, but it's not possible. We have to use the time now in the best possible way, so the players that are not participate in the World Cup, they will have some time off, which they fully deserve, and the rest just fulfill a dream that every kid has had when they had a chance to represent the national team in a World Cup. It doesn't get better than that.
Mikel, a lot of people across the country have spoken about the World Cup, and they've looked at Manchester City and they've said Erling Haaland, when everybody's away at the World Cup, is going to be fully rested. You've got an influential Norwegian player in your team as well. How big a difference could Odegaard make, certainly in the early games after the World Cup, when he's not going to...
I don't have a clue. Obviously, he's got 2 internationals before that, so he's going to be committed with the national team. And after that, we will try to prepare in the best possible way. But we don't know, you know. When you are in the rhythm and when you are competing, sometimes it's much better. So the players that are here, they will need to compete and have enough fitness to be able to play in the right way against West Ham, and we'll try to prepare them that way.
It was a big call to make him captain, though, but he looks a real leader.
And it is, on his own way and with his character, but he's a fantastic person, he's a fantastic footballer, and what he's doing at his age is not easy, and we are really happy to have him.
Go ahead.
Just following on Martin again, how important is it that he's been decisive in the box? Like 6 goals for him now this season. Is something he's really adding to it?
No, that's what you want, your attacking midfielders to win games, and not only assisting but scoring goals, and he's changed that mentality, and he's practicing a lot, and he wants to get to his best, which we don't know what his limit is, like many of the other kids that we have. So that's what we want, embrace the good moments and support them when they're not that good.
And just on Granit, is he okay?
He's fine. He wasn't feeling good, and for Granit to put his hand up and say I need to come off, he wasn't feeling good at all. We had a few boys with some issues, tummy issues, and obviously we cannot change 3 or 4 in the first half, but I'm delighted that we adapted to those circumstances as well, and we managed to win the game.
Mikel, obviously you've been taking it game by game so far, but now we've reached this break point and we won't see you again for a few weeks. Are you able to reflect on just how far ahead of expectations this season might be or might not be, and how it's gone?
Yeah, probably I need a week or so to do that, but obviously nobody expected us to be where we are right now in the amount of games that we have managed to win, but I'm more focused on our way of playing and our way of living together, and the atmosphere that we have in this dressing room and around Colney, and what we have generated with our supporters in our stadium, and the relationship between every member of the club, and that's much more powerful, and my job is to focus after on playing better every game.
Has it surpassed your own expectations of what could be possible with this team?
Yes, but I take it day by day and not even game by game. I understand that the better we do the daily things and and we commit to doing those things better every single day. Every individual is going to contribute to the team to be better, and that's what we want to do.
Charles?
Just on, you said there was some tummy issues with the players. Was that something that was sort of going on overnight at the team hotel?
No, overnight. I think it was after the pre-match meal, but I didn't even know about it, and the doc now was trying to get some players sorted because they weren't feeling good. So.
What did you have for the meal?
Sorry?
What did you have?
I don't have any food. On match day I don't eat a lot, so I'm fine.
What was the meal then?
I don't know what happened.
Did you watch the City game?
Yes. We were on the bus.
You all watched it together?
Sorry?
You all watched it
Yeah,
together?
and then we watch it together, yes.
What was the
Like we
reaction?
normally do with many other games.
What was the reaction when Tony scored the goal at the end?
As you can imagine.
Is that, Mikel, is that to give you a boost going out there? Can it sometimes maybe lose the focus a little bit if you're thinking about other teams? Do you think it did give them a bit of
Yes, but that's the way that you live this league, and that's the beauty. And you start to do that on the second game of the season, because the competition is that big that you're always looking at other opponents. And I think it's something that every team does. And when I've been in other teams, we used to do it all the time as a player or as a coach, and it's natural. But then you have to focus on your own thing, your own performance, and winning the game. And this week I think it was very tricky because it was too many things around the World Cup and certain individuals. But thanks God the boys did what they have to do.
Stay humble, bro.
Well, this is remarkable, Ian.
Yeah.
No side in Premier League history has been guaranteed to be top of the table at Christmas in the middle of November until Arsenal on this time.
Yeah.
And it was a Norwegian that spruced things up.
Yes, top scorer for Arsenal in the league this season. I think that when you look as well and you see that City lost, Arsenal knew they lost, going to a Wolves team that you have to get something from. I thought it was another brilliant performance from Arsenal. The way they kept the ball, the way they kept people going into the box, it was fantastic effort for him. And when you look at the way they played, they've been in control of games, most of the games they've been playing this season. They've been very confident. I think Martinelli here doing fantastically well. Playing on the left, he's ended up over this side. And then once this ball does come over, when it does finally come over, he's got so much time. Look how far he's run with the ball. Jesus, who people are saying about he's not being in the box, but when you've got that many people getting in the box, then yes, he can come out and create like he has done here. Look how brilliant he's done there. And Fabio Vieira, who's came on and done fantastically well, came on for Xhaka, unfortunately had to go off. Brilliant play. Look at Jesus here. Brilliant play, brilliant vision. Ball's in the box. And that's, look how many people Arsenal got in the box there. Fantastic. And that's what they've been doing. Too much time and space here for Partey. You're thinking, okay, the defender, what's he going to do? Martinelli closes him down. And once he wins the ball, then you look at Traore with Zinchenko. He doesn't go with him. And the way Arsenal playing, you're going to get punished if they can isolate somebody. Goes in, doesn't rush it. Once he does get the ball in the box, all you want now is somebody calm and composed to get it. A lot of players in the box, Wolves, but no one close enough to Odegaard, and he finishes it brilliantly. But again, I thought the way Arsenal played, it was very workmanlike in the way they'd done it. They kept the ball moving, moved Wolves about the place, and in the end, for me, it was quite an easy win in the end.
Well, that's a 5-point lead now with Manchester City losing. 3 more points at this stage of the season, funnily enough, than the Invincibles. Yeah. They must have been bang average.
You can smile, you're top of the league.
Can I say, quick question to you both?
Did you hear what Martin said? We're just being humble, Arsenal people.
To both of you, they can do this, can't they? They can actually win this title.
Well, I'm not going to comment on the title until the next game, after the next game.
No, because Newcastle.
Yeah. Listen, that's the aim was top. The aim was top 4.
That's not what I'm asking.
No, but this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you.
Okay, all right, fair enough. As for Wolves, should they have had a penalty, which was at 0-0, could have made all the difference?
Well, the offside becomes irrelevant, Gary, because the VAR didn't think the referee had made a clear and obvious error with the foul there. I did. I thought that was a foul. And it should have been, and they should have went back and looked at that. And he wasn't offside, but it becomes irrelevant because they didn't think it was a clear error.
Okay. Newcastle had the manager of the month for October in Eddie Howe and the player of the month in Miguel Almiron. They did, though, draw a blank in the Pundit of the Month award. There isn't one, but we do have the Pundit of the Year in the studio.
Yes. Thanks to you.
Well done, Ian Wright.
Thanks, Al.
Thrilled for you.
Thanks, Al.
Chelsea were looking to avoid 3 straight league defeats for the first time since 2015. Guy Mowbray was at St James's Park.
Gives very little away, doesn't he, Mikel Arteta? But the one thing you've got to give him, and he comes across in this kind of manner in his post-match interviews, is the confidence. He's kind of very assured as to where he's going, what he's about, and the process that he always seemed to talk about, Owen. Do you think, in many respects, it's exceeded his own expectations?
Oh, definitely. I think, obviously, you have a plan and you hope for the best, but you also plan for the worst. I think the plan has gone significantly better than I think he could have ever imagined. Obviously, it helps that Liverpool are struggling, Chelsea are struggling. City haven't been the perfect City we've seen. But I think you've got to credit Arsenal. They've been the best team in the league so far over this space, 14, 15 games. And now they're in a position, a bit like Leicester. Leicester didn't believe they could go and win the league at Christmas. But all of a sudden, then you get into March and you think, we're there. We're right there. And I think with Arsenal now, they all believe, look, we put ourselves in a position through our hard work. And credit Mikel Arteta, I think he's done an exceptional job. Get rid of a lot of characters that didn't fit into the philosophy. It's one of the youngest teams in the whole Premier League. And they're already showing that they're ready to compete for a trophy. And that is credit to Mikel and Arsenal.
Yeah, he has dealt with it with a firm fist as well in some points, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at what he did with Aubameyang, for instance. Everyone thought, whoa, that's a strange move, but they've been fantastic since then. Whether that's the reason, who knows? But what I like about him is he was under pressure. He's been under pressure as well at times, but he's always kept that even kill. Whether he's won football matches or lost in some way, he's kept that even kill. That's rubbed off on the players. He's a realist as well. He knows, they're in a great position, but he's not going to get carried away. He won't allow these youngsters to get carried away. What he will instill in them is belief, belief, belief. Let everyone else think about, can they win the title? Let them debate it. We inside the house believe, let's get on to the next game, West Ham, when it comes back round again. But it's about this inner belief within that group of players that we can do our very, very best every week in and week out. If that takes us again, around about April, we're still in contention, then you start gazing your eyes about that trophy. But, there's other teams that have got more experience than Arsenal. They will have a little dip, and it's how they cope with that dip when they have a loss and a couple of draws maybe, which will happen. They won't just have it plain sailing. So that's the key. When that happens, how they respond.
Consistency is key, and you can tell that from 12 wins from 14 games. They've only dropped points in 2 games. But consistency of selection. Owen, if you have a look at that, 11 pre-game changes this season made by Arteta. Compare that to maybe Graham Potter's Chelsea, 52. I mean, that's quite something, is it not?
Yeah, but I think if you look
look, I get it. They're at different points of where they are in their projects, but, he is by far well ahead of, say, Manchester City, with Pep. Well, you've got Newcastle, who made 20 as well.
But if you think about the way, Tuchel and Graham Potter, they like to rotate systems of formation. Mikel, I think this Arsenal team had weaknesses before. Always in a few positions. I think now he's addressed those weaknesses. The starting 11 is very solid. And now that he's found something, don't change it. And I like that.
That's a bit of a conundrum with Chelsea and there, because I saw up there that Brighton was 7. Brighton was 7 changes, and Graham Potter was a part of that this season. It's a conundrum, that, isn't it? 52 for Chelsea.
Obviously, he's gone into Chelsea. I think 40 of those 52 have come from Graham Potter. Because he's still trying to find his way at Stamford Bridge.
Exactly, and I think he's found his way at Brighton. And that's why there wasn't as many changes. So he's still working that out, very much so. 52 for me is too many, don't get me wrong. But it's quite ironic. I just had to have a smile and say Brighton have only had 7 changes.
From where he left?
Yeah, from and he's a part of that decision-making.
Disappointment in the end then as far as Wolves are concerned, but Arsenal fans will be rejoicing. The world over, they'll be top at Christmas for the first time since 2007, and with a handy 5-point advantage over Manchester City. Can we spell it out now, Owen? They are genuine title contenders.
Well, as it stands, they're the favourites. They put themselves in that position. Who would have thought after 14 games Arsenal would be top of the league? No one. Not even Arsenal fans. Not Mikel Arteta. Think about, obviously, Man City and Liverpool, 2 of the best teams in all the world, never mind the Premier League. The money that Chelsea and Man United have spent, Tottenham. What a remarkable job. He's right. He's had a transformation from the whole football club, from the fans, from the atmosphere. Remember how toxic it was a few years ago? All the issues that they had, the holes in the Arsenal squad. You looked at the starting 11 and thought, every time we watch Arsenal, they need 4 or 5 players. Now you look at their starting 11, and they're a solid team. You know, defensively they're really good. Goalkeeper's fantastic. Midfield balance is good, and they've got great attacking young players. So credit Mikel Arteta. They've been a joy to watch, and rightly so, the best team in the Premier League so far.
Glenn, did they sign off with a professional performance against Wolves?
Yeah, they got better as the game went on. I think at half-time you're probably expecting a bit more, and I think Mikel Arteta would have said that to them in the dressing room. They were more aggressive with the ball. They were quicker with the ball. They put their fullbacks, higher and wider, which we spoke about at half-time, and it worked for them, And Wolves weren't going to change the way they were going to play. They were going to play with that back 5, and they just upped the ante a little bit, didn't they? They sort of shifted the ball about. They had good movement off the ball, and first half they were very slow and pedestrian, but it just shows you that they can change gears, and they've thoroughly deserved to be top of the league. They've gone out, it's a race, it's a long race, the Premier League. They've gone out and they've been the leaders, and sometimes you get dragged back in a race if you go too early, and it's up to other clubs now to drag them back.
So many positives. One of them is Martin Odegaard, given the captain's armband by Mikel Arteta. He's not let that armband weigh him down.
No, I think that's probably why he got it. You look at the boys in training, and the way they communicate with their teammates, the respect they have for their teammates. He's not the natural leader in terms of John Terry or Vincent Kompany or Roy Keane, but he leads by example. And obviously, a lot of these players are interchanging. We saw Martinelli, coming inside. He's a fantastic dribbler. Gabriel Jesus, he played as a centre forward, but he's outside on the left-hand side here. Vieira came on here, and he's the one that kind of. He goes forward and Martinelli drops in deep. It's a nice little pattern of play. And Gabriel Jesus' assists have been fantastic. I know the goals have dried up, but that was a fantastic worked goal from Arsenal. Glenn, it almost felt like one of those Man City goals where the ball goes wide, they flood the box, and it's a nice pattern of play.
I think that's the key. It's a lovely, cute little run and a cute ball, but the flood, look how many red shirts are in there. They didn't have that first half, but you're right, Owen. It's like almost like a City goal, isn't it? In that 6-yard box, 2 or 3 players in there, and nice build-up. What Arsenal have had this season, they really give you width. Their players get high up the pitch. Martinelli nicks the ball, shouldn't really get it, gets it, but look, it's lazy defending from Wolves, it really is. But once Zinchenko gets in there, he's got time to pull it back. This is all about Odegaard's first touch. Watch this, the ball spinning, sets it beautifully. If that's in between his feet, he can't get that finishing, but it's the set of the ball that is the reason why he actually finishes it so well. There's the little overlap, which wasn't there in the first half, and at the end of the day, they deserve the win. And they deserve to be top of the league at the moment.
As you say, Glenn, look, 6 bodies in the box. Yeah. They have so many attacking players, a bit like Man City. And Odegaard, he's been fantastic. He's a quiet leader. But I think, obviously, if you're top of the league at this point, they're doing a lot of things right.
Well, from one North London club to another, and for Spurs, a chance to sign off before the World Cup break with a morale-boosting win. They'd lost 3 of the last 4 under Antonio Conte. They'll take on Leeds United, who are looking for a 3rd straight win in England's top flight. Here's Efan Okoku and Pien Mullenstein.
A big result. As a single result, it's maybe the biggest result in club history. Going here to Etihad against maybe the best team in the world. You go here, you can't expect anything. We believed in it, and I said that before the game, that we massively believed that we would get 3 points.
The best team won, so we struggled from the beginning, so especially the connection Raya with Tony, they could not win any ball, so when he flicked the ball, created problems. When we set the ball for the 3 holding midfields in front of him, we could not win it, so normally you press the ball to win it and attack again. And in that situation, it was completely the opposite, because we cannot press because it was long balls, but the long balls we cannot take it.
We restricted the big man up front, restricted De Bruyne. When he got on the ball, we tried to get out to him and close him down. We know how dangerous he can be in their connection between each other. And yeah, I thought we defended really well, and got the blocks in when we needed to.
When we get a late winner here, that is so many emotions is running through your body. But today, I'm unbelievably proud of the players, the team, and the club.
Yeah, extraordinary result, and what a performance as well. And you have to say that, well, Brentford possibly played the long game, as we can see here by the percentages of long passes. I think 31% is more than any other team this season. But it worked, Alan. It worked well.
Yeah, their first away win of the season, Gary, and it was thoroughly deserved. A third of their passes were actually long passes, but a lot of their other play as well was magnificent. And what they did is, they got men in and around when that ball went up. They had runners off the ball. There was an understanding of what they were doing and what they were trying to achieve. Runners off the ball because they knew they were going to win a lot of the balls that were actually going up there. They got warnings. I mean, they could have been 2 or 3-0 up anyway early on in the game. I said a lot of their play was superb also, as well as the long passes, and this is one of those as well. A great run in from Rico Henry. He was magnificent all game. Another chance that is for Ivan Toney. Again, the direct ball, but look at the way City line up. And then Brentford put strength at both sides. Ben Mee wins the header against Akanji, wants it more than he does. And then Toney gets his first goal. He was a threat all game. Superb. They just couldn't handle him. No one in front of him. No one challenging him when the ball comes up again. So they get that ball, and then they've got options. They play it really well. They work themselves into good positions, and that's another good effort at goal. Similar thing again. Ball goes up to him, but they win the header again. Look at the men they've got around him, because they know and they expect whoever's going up there to win those balls, and they did exactly that. And it's a great piece of defending that is from Laporte. Otherwise, he's got a tap in. This time it's into the other corner. And I mentioned some great skill and great areas. Have a look at that. Have a look at this, the way they work it well and get into that position. Toney again, great skill. Could have another one, but for good goalkeeping. Watch this goal. It's 1-1 at the time, and watch where the 4 Brentford players come from. They all come from inside their own box.
Red arrows.
Unbelievable it is. Their determination to get on the end of this, the end of this, and actually go and win the game, not draw the game. Look at their determination. Great cross in from De Silva, and that man there. I think he sent a message to Gareth Southgate, don't you?
Well, he sent a message, but sadly for him, it's a message.
And you can see there with the passes from the goalkeeper up to Toney. Yeah. He's dominant.
Yeah, indeed. He didn't make the England squad.
No.
We know that. It's probably too late unless someone gets injured, possibly tomorrow. But he's with that kind of performance, what will England miss, Ian?
Well, I think you saw the physicality of him and what he's capable of doing. But we're seeing somebody who came up from the Championship, scored loads of goals. You know, he's coming into the Premier League with a Brentford side that really do play enterprising stuff. You can see how good their coach is. And I think he's done enough. You know, 10 goals in 14 games. He's still in good form. So I think he's very, very unlucky, Gal.
Yeah, I think if that had happened last week, you think it would have changed things? I mean, that's the nature of football.
I'm just disappointed.
There's arguments for both the players. It was either him or Wilson.
We're not trying to say Callum Wilson shouldn't be there. I know Newcastle fans are probably...
There was arguments for either player.
OK, all right. I suppose in some ways, if you'd have said in this game that there's going to be a big, tall goal scorer that's going to get 2 goals in this game and win it at the death, you might have thought it would have been Manchester City's striker, but they kept him very quiet. How did they do it?
They done very well. It's like they had the plan for the front men and for the back. They just kept Kevin De Bruyne very quiet. And like you could see, I think Jorgensen, Ben Mee and Pinnock, they were all over him when he was in the box. This is one of the only times he did get some space to do what he does and get on that far post. One of the few times as well that Kevin De Bruyne got out of like Matthias Jensen's like grips, and you know they couldn't get it going. When you look at this, I think he's got to put this in earlier, so as maybe Haaland could go and attack it, but he doesn't do it. And then once he does that, look at the bodies in and around him. They're stopping the ball at source. They're stopping it from getting in there at all. This one, put that in. Doesn't put it in, and then you could see in the box there, you could see him there with Ben Mee, with Jorgensen, or his Pinnock, and he's trying to get himself out, and then by the time it does come in, he makes a move in front, and it goes back here. He makes a move in front, and then it goes round the back, because that's how it's going for him. And then when it did come in there,
Even now, though, his movement, you can see he's always trying in, out, in, out.
And again, you see this. Once this comes in, look at the four odd bodies. Look, converging on them. And then when this ball comes in, it's actually coming the other way. And then bang, they clear it again. And they got that. Like, they deserved it because they defended brilliantly.
They had a game plan, Brentford, that worked perfectly today.
And see, the first game all season hasn't had a shot on target, and you have to put that down to Brentford.
Football, being football as well, you can see him now going a little while without a goal. He could be a month or so at least.
Premier League. On a drought.